Welcome to Duke Devil 95. My name is Brad Burnett, and we are now on episode 5, the penultimate episode of the MCU D Plus Secret Invasion series. Oh boy, thankfully, this one, after you take out the credits and the opening sequence, it's only 30 minutes. There are blessings out there in the world. Thank you. Thank you. I think if you look in the dictionary under the word filler, they're going to have this episode listed right next to it because that's all this was. We open up where we left off last week, kinda. We see Fury rushing the president to the hospital. He stands guard outside the surgery room in case anyone shows up. Of course, we know who's going to show up at some point is Skrull Rhodey, Scroll Rhodey Scroll. I don't know what we're going to call it. Who cares? It's only one more episode left after this. We then flash to Russia, where we see Gravik going back to New Skrullos. He meets up with all the Skrulls there, and one of his lieutenants, Pagon, starts questioning his leadership. So, Gravik, of course, acts very rationally and literally just kind of Groots him, well, Groot arm right through his heart and kills him. So, impressing upon all the other Skrulls that you either follow Gravik's orders or you get a group branch to the heart. I guess that's great leadership. Awesome. Gravik then contacts Skrull Rhodey and instructs him to tell the president that Skrulls were behind the attack and that they were located in Russia. So basically, Gravik's plan is to get the president to attack New Skrullos based in Russia and start off World War III. So they're going to blow up where all the Skrulls are. Yeah. So yeah, Gravik's leadership capabilities are severely under question at this point, in my opinion.
This is a terrible plan.
Back at the hospital, we see Skrull Rhodey actually show up and encounter Nick. There's a little bit of tete-a-tete between the two. Some pistols pointed in a certain Skrull's face. And then Rhodey says, "Look, man, you can do whatever you want, but we're about to release the imagery of you killing Maria Hill. The one where Gravik actually did, but it was taken on Nick Fury's face and everything, and that's going to make him, the most hunted man on the planet. I don't know why killing Maria Hill is going to make Fury the most hunted man on the planet, but apparently it is. So Fury then takes off, but don't worry. I think Fury's still got a plan. He's got a plan of some sort. Yeah, because he's Nick Fury, right? I hope he has a plan. So far, everything he's been doing has been great this entire series. Olivia Colman shows back up as Sonya Fallsworth, kind of playing the same role, being the good guy British secret agent with a bit of Dolores Umbridge as a character. She outs her boss as a Skrull and then takes over running the British SIS, I think it's called, Special Intelligence Service, I guess. She then tracks down the scientists, the Skrulls who are posing as the scientists developing the Super Skrull formula and equipment, and she takes control of it and gets all the plans. Now, then we flash back to New Skrullos, where one of the Skrulls, Beto. No, not that Beto. I know, that's the most common Beto, but I'm not talking Robert Francis O'Rourke. I mean, Beto, this very important character we saw for maybe 5 minutes in the first episode when he decides to go to New Skrullos. So now he's kind of upset with how things are going. So he and a bunch of other Skrulls kind of stage a rebellion against Gravik, who then again goes all Super Skrull, takes them all out, kills them all, kills them kills these guys in front of a bunch of other Skrulls, and just like leadership. Fury meets up with Gaia, and they talk about Talos's death. Fury knows that Gaia is now a Super Skrull with some abilities. She also reveals that Gravik only has a few DNA samples. She mentions Cull Obsidian's DNA and Groot's DNA, but says he's looking for something called the Harvest. Now, this is something that Nick Fury recognizes, and he's going to go off and get that. So he's got to go to Finland to get this. At the same time, Gaia goes off to bury Talos, and she goes to get help from Fury's wife, Priscilla. At the hospital, President Ritson has come out of surgery, and honestly, I didn't think he was that injured in the attack. Um, I don't want to go back and watch to like confirm that he was that injured, but I'm just okay. Well, let's just accept that he was injured enough to go into surgery, but it wasn't bad enough that he was out that long because only seems like a few hours have passed. So anyway, Skrull Rhodey informs him that the Skrulls are behind the attack and they're based in Russia, and he encourages the president to launch an attack on Russia to take out the Skrull base. And the president's like, well, that's going to start World War III. But Rhodey convinces him, it's like, look, if you don't do this, the entire human race will go extinct because the Skrulls will take over. I guess, again, this is Gravik's great leadership plan.
Strategery.
But again, I shouldn't be doubting Gravik's strategic acumen at this point because now he calls up Fury and he offers Fury a deal. He says, give me the harvest and I'll call this whole thing off. The whole thing being setting up World War III, where the human race is wiped out and the Skrulls take over. So if he calls that all off, does that mean they're just going to settle down and keep making super Skrulls and be content with whatever this harvest thing is? Yeah. I really think that the writers should have been thinking a little bit more about what the ultimate plan was, just flowchart it a little bit, write it out, like take over Earth. How do we do this? Eliminate human race, cause World War III. Okay, let's cause World War III. Great. Skrulls are immune to radiation. Great. Launch nukes. Okay, nuke the planet, but then everything is nuclear and radioactive and everything is destroyed. That's okay because we'll just live in caves, I guess. Wow. So Gaia meets up with Priscilla. There's a little bit of animosity at the beginning, but Priscilla agrees to help Gaia bury her father. Gaia doesn't know all the prayers and everything, but Priscilla's there to help. They go back to the house after the funeral. They talk a little bit about, their feelings and everything about what it's like. Gaia talks about what it's like to be her father's daughter. Priscilla talks about what it's like to be Fury's wife. And then guess what happens? Well, finally, graphics people show up and we got a big kind of shootout where guns are going off left and right. Again, this is something I kind of missed, but it seems like in this scene, all the blood is all red blood, human blood. I would have thought it had been greenish Skrull blood. I don't know. I hate trying to pay attention to this. It's really annoying. But it's like these little things that I feel like should be paid attention to. I don't feel Skrulls should have red blood. In fact, I swear we've seen it's not red blood. It's either green or purple. But when it splatters on the wall, it's red blood. I don't know what's going on with these. Fury arrives in Finland wearing the face mask, disguise apparatus that Black Widow used in the Winter Soldier. It's like this little mask. You rip it off, Mission Impossible style, except a little more fancy, techie than just a mask. He meets up with Sonya, and they go to a grave for Fury. So I guess Fury's got a few graves throughout the world. This one apparently holds what is called the harvest. Now, the harvest it's this little vial that Fury gets out of the gravestone. What is the harvest? Well, the harvest is the DNA blood of nearly every Avenger who bled or was cut, shed DNA at the final battle in Avengers Endgame. So Fury had Skrulls led by Gravik go to the battle site and pick up all the DNA of all the Avengers and like combine it in one little thing called the harvest. Why did he do this? And Sonya asks, why did you do this? Why don't you just call your Avenger friends? Well, I'll tell you one reason why you don't call the Avenger friends, Sonya, is we don't know who the hell they are at this point. Captain America's gone. All we got is Captain Falcon, who can't get a bank loan. Winter Soldier? No, he's not an Avenger. Rhodey? Well, that's a Skrull. Iron Man is dead. Thor is off raising Gore's daughter. Who else we got? The Hulk? The Hulk is kind of mopey. He's retired, leaving it to She-Hulk. Widow's dead. Hawkeye's retired. Who the hell are the Avengers? Can someone tell me at this point? Because we're supposed to be having an Avengers movie in 2 years or something, barring strike negotiations. Who are the Avengers? Please, someone, if you can tell me, I would love to know. Because right now, I don't see any damn Avengers. I just see a bunch of C-list characters who no one gives a shit about. But anyway, Fury doesn't call the Avengers because, they could get taken over. So he doesn't call the Avengers, but the plan is to harvest all their blood to do what? To develop the Super Skrull machine, I guess, and use it to give powers to someone? This is master strategist Nick Fury.
Strategery.
So he doesn't want to call superheroes. He says, we can't rely on superheroes, but we're going to collect all their DNA and develop this machine to give powers. You can't rely on superheroes, but you're going to create your own superheroes. Do you even understand what you're writing at this point? I don't know, because what the hell? Anyway, the bottom line is at the end of this episode, Nick Fury returns. He goes into a mausoleum nearby his grave and opens up a wall safe or something hidden in the grave and pulls out an eye patch, puts on the eye patch, takes off his beanie, and eye patch Nick Fury walks out. So yeah, you're asking if Nick Fury's back? I think he's back. But the bigger question is, who gives a damn? Because this Nick Fury, this entire thing, let's break down real quick who this Nick Fury is. We now have learned, as opposed to the Nick Fury we first saw, this badass dude who shows up at the end of Iron Man. He says, let me tell you about the Avengers Initiative. This is the Nick Fury we have now. We have Nick Fury, who is a bad husband, abandons his wife, goes off and F's around on a space station because he's mopey after being blipped. We got bad friend Nick Fury because he doesn't stay in contact with Talos. We got Promise Breaker Nick Fury because he told all the Skrulls that he would find them a new home, which technically he couldn't because he's kind of earthbound. The only person who could would have been Captain Marvel, the bestest Avenger ever. But she's off screwing around in space, and apparently he only calls her when he's about to be blipped out. What else does Fury suck at? Strategy, because apparently his strategy is to harvest all the DNA of the Avengers, because that's not going to be a problem. Who could think that would ever be a problem? Oh, yeah, and also, treat the Skrulls like shit, so that they get really pissed off, and then know all your secrets are going to use it against you. Holy crap. Wow, guys. I mean, who have we deconstructed in the last few years? We killed off Han Solo. Luke Skywalker became a mopey F, living on an island and threw his lightsaber away. Indy went to hell. You killed off Iron Man and degraded his legacy. God, can we not have any heroes anymore? Thank God there's only one more episode of this left. Thank God this is only 30 minutes. It's just kind of annoying because this is just pure content. I talk about it, honestly, because I like the base stories. I like the lore it's based on. And it annoys me when I see this stuff being perverted when there's good stuff out there. There could be good stories out there. This would have been a great story with superheroes. Rhodey, it doesn't matter what Rhodey is. Rhodey's Rhodey, okay? Have someone like in the comics. Have the Skrull Queen, Varanki, playing Spider-Woman since the formation of the New Avengers. If you read actual comics, you know what I'm talking about. That was an interesting story. This is not. This is not an interesting story. It's more frustrating, and thankfully it's coming to an end. Next week, we'll see what happens. Oh, God, is it going to be more than 30 minutes? I don't know. Whatever. We'll see what they do. I guess they wrote a story. Questions, comments, witticisms down below. Please feel free to. We got those good buttons you could click the like one. That's always nice. Click the subscribe button. Please, I'm almost at 60. Come on, give me 60 subscribers. That'd be cool. Until next time. See ya.